So now you can see this is a CLI access of a device. Okay, so this is a switch, and if you want to check the MAC address table of a switch, so you can run this command show MAC address table, show space MAC space address table. Okay, if you want you can note down this command. So if you are typing this command, you will get the MAC address table entry. So this is the MAC address table of this switch in front of you. So what kind of fields will be there in this MAC address table? MAC address will be there, then on which port the MAC address has been learned, that information will be there, the port number will be there, how the MAC address has been learned, that information will be there. In two ways the MAC address entry can be made. One is statically, one is automatically or dynamically. So here it's automatically learned, so it's showing dynamic, and the port is part of which VLAN. This port is part of which VLAN, or for which VLAN the MAC address has been learned. That information it's showing. So initially this is just Ethernet 0x0 it's showing. If I'm going to check Ethernet 0x0, other switch is connected. So that's why switches automatically they will share, all the switches will have their own MAC address also. So what will happen if they are sending any kind of control plane traffic, then also the another switch who is receiving that control plane traffic, he can make an entry in the MAC address table. That's why you are able to see the MAC address table, two entry are there. Okay, automatically it's made. So but initially, for example, if I am telling I am coming back to this scenario, no other switches are connected. So I am also doing one thing, Ethernet 0x0 shutdown. Okay, now you can see there is no connection, only this is a standalone switch like that. So initially the MAC address table entry will be empty. Okay, so till which time the MAC address table will be empty? Till the time these devices A and B, or any device connected to your switch, they are not going to send any kind of traffic towards your switch. Your switch will unable to detect the MAC address of the device, so that's why the MAC address table will be initially empty. So when it will make the entry, right now for example the same thing I am telling, 10.1 is trying to make a communication with 10.2, and the source MAC address is A, destination MAC address is B. Here also the device will unable to get know the destination MAC address. Later we will discuss about that. Right now anyhow the device know the destination MAC address. So this is the packet, and here the data is there. Okay, now this information will send towards the switch. Switch will receive the information on port number 1. So what will happen right now? First of all, before processing the information or before checking the destination MAC address, switch will try to make a MAC address table by looking on the source information. What is the source MAC address? Okay, so before checking the destination MAC address or before taking the forwarding decision, what switch will do? Switch will try to make a MAC address table entry. For what? For the MAC address, for the device MAC address who is actually sending the data, or for the source MAC address. How it will make the entry right now? This is port number 1. So in port field, this will mention port number 1. Then VLAN, for which VLAN the port is participant, or the port is member of which VLAN. For example, by default on switch the VLAN will be 1 number VLAN will be created. So it will mention VLAN number 1. Then the MAC address. Which MAC address? The source MAC address who is sending the data. That MAC address it will mention here. Then the type. How it learn the MAC address? It will be dynamic. Because this device sending some data, that's why it's automatically learning. The dynamic will be method will be there. So after making this entry, you can see the switch is having the information on this port which device is connected. Because switch is not going to take care about any information related to layer 3. It can only take the forwarding decision or do all the activity by looking at the layer 2 information only. That's why he is going to make a layer 2 entry or MAC address table entry, which will be totally based on the layer 2 informations. Here it mentioned from which port on the port the data received. He mentioned the port number. That port is part of which VLAN? That also a layer 2 information. VLAN number 1 it mentioned. Who is sending the data? A device or MAC address is A of that device. How I am learning? Dynamically. Then it will, after making this entry, what it will do? Now it will check for the destination MAC address to whom I need to send the data. Who is checking? Switch is checking right now. Okay. So for the destination MAC address, it will again check the MAC address table entry. If entry is available in that entry, it will choose, it will directly exit the data from the appropriate port. If the entry is not available, then some kind of other activity the switch will perform. What will be that activity? That activity will be, for example, so what will be that activity? That means switch knows if someone is trying to want data and I don't have any information about the destination MAC address, then it might be, so that device is available, means B device is available, but the B device is not send any data towards the switch or towards me. That's why I don't have any entry in the MAC address table. Here we can see the first entry just because A sent some data towards the switch. Till the time B is also not sending any data towards switch, so there will be no entry for B. That's why switch don't know information about the MAC address B. But here directly switch will not drop the data. It will think like might be the device is connected to me, but he haven't sent any data towards me. That's why there is no entry for that MAC address in my MAC address table. So that's why what it will do right now, by assuming the device is connected with me, switch will try to, this is A, this is B, might be some other ports are available. So what switch will do? So it will try to send the data to all the ports beside the port from where it received. So here it is receiving the data, the same data it will send to all the ports. So what will happen right now? If it's sending all the ports, then might be B is available, B can receive the data. Switch don't have information, but still B can receive the data. That's why assuming that switch is going to send the data to all the ports. This kind of communication is known as also, this kind of scenario, what is happening right now, this scenario is also known as unknown unicast flooding. Later I will also tell you for which kind of packet the switch will do the broadcast and all the things. So this kind of scenario also known as unknown unicast flooding, which is an important thing in switch. So what switch will do? If the switch don't have information about the destination MAC address in its MAC address table entry, then switch will send the same data to all the ports beside the port from where the switch received the data. Because switch have an entry for this port, he knows A device is connected here, so that's why it's not B. So why should I send the same data towards this port? So it will not send to this port, it will send the same data to all the rest ports. So that's why B can receive the data. So how it will happen right now? Whenever B will receive the data, after that B will send some response to that response for that data. That's why after receiving the response on this port, again switch will make a MAC address table entry for the B device. How it will make? Port number 2 I am receiving some data. That port is also part of VLAN number 1. The MAC address who is sending the data, that's B, and I am learning it dynamically. It will make a entry like this. So again next time if A is sending any data, it will not send to all ports because it's having an entry for the MAC address table. So it will do, how it will do? It will just check the data, check the destination, and on which port the MAC address is connected. From that port it will maintain, it will exit the data. So by default, how long the MAC address table entry can be there in the switch? By default for the switch, a MAC address table entry can be for 300 seconds or 5 minutes. If you want the MAC address table aging time, you can change. This is known as MAC address table aging time or MAC aging time. So what is MAC aging time? It defines for how long the MAC address entry can be okay, for how long the MAC address table entry can be exist. So that's why this time is known as MAC aging time. So by default, if you are checking, so the MAC address aging time, show MAC address table aging time. If you are running this command will show you what is the MAC address table aging time of this switch. So here you can see the global aging time is 300 seconds, and also you can change the aging time. Okay, global means for the switch by default aging time is 300 seconds, but if you want you can also change the MAC address table aging time. If you want to change the MAC address table aging time, then command is there, MAC address table aging time, then you can press the question mark, so you can set the aging time. Okay, so if you are entering 0, then it will disable the aging, means the entry will never be never remove, it will available constantly. But if you want to change, then you can change. The timer should be at least 10 seconds to some second. So for example, I am setting 120 seconds for 2 minutes, or okay 600 seconds, 10 minutes I am going to set. After that it will ask the information. So if you are running this command, then it will set the MAC address table aging time for the global aging time. It will change the global aging time to show MAC address table aging time. Then you can see the global aging time has been changed from 300 to 600 right now. But for VLAN basis also we can do, like for example, I am creating one VLAN number 2, and for VLAN number 2, if I am receiving any MAC address table entry, or the switch is making any MAC address table entry, I want the MAC address table aging time should be 120 seconds. So how I will do? MAC address table aging time, then VLAN, then the time, then VLAN number 2. So this is, if you want to change the MAC address table aging time for a VLAN, for a particular VLAN, then you can run this command. So if I am going to check right now again MAC address table aging time, then you can see this is the global timer for all the VLANs, but for VLAN number 2 the aging time will be 120 seconds. Okay, so if you want also you can change the MAC address table aging timer. Then the next thing is, so you can see if I am showing you this show MAC address table, then okay, let me make some entry first. Okay, this is a device, so IP address 10.0.0.1/24. okay, then I am having another device IP 10.0.0.2/24. third one I am going to give a IP address 10.0.0.3/24. okay, so I am having some devices in this scenario. This is my switch. To this switch 4 devices are connected. So generally if I am going to check the MAC address table right now, you can see the MAC address table, just because if you are assigning one IP address to your device, then your device will generate one Gracio Sharp message. That's why the message will come to the switch. If your switch is receiving any kind of message which is having a layer 2 information of MAC address, source MAC, destination MAC, then your switch will make a MAC address table entry by looking on the source MAC address. Okay, so here for device MAC address information is already stored. So you can see the MAC address table entry is dynamic right now, but if you want to make a static entry also you can make. Dynamic entry means what will happen, according to the MAC address table aging time, every time the entry will be plus after the aging time complete. Like you can see this entry is there. So as the global that MAC address table aging timer is 600 seconds right now. So what will happen? This entry will be here till 600 seconds. After 600 seconds, the entry will be removed. But in between 600 seconds, if the device is doing any kind of configuration, any kind of communication again, if the communication message is coming to switch, again the timer will reset. Like for example, in this scenario also, A is sending some data to switch. So switch is making an entry for A in the MAC address table for port number 1. This is, for example, by default the timer is 300 seconds. 300 seconds, then 259, 258, like that the timer will run. At 0 second, if the device is not receiving any data, so it will flush the entry, it will remove the entry. But the thing is, like before completing 300 seconds, like at 150 seconds, again if this device is sending a data, then instead of 150 seconds, the timer will again reset to 300 seconds. Okay. So in dynamic entry, what will happen? We can have two kind of entry. First one is static and second one is dynamic. So dynamic entry means what? If your device is making the entry by looking on the source MAC address, whenever it is receiving the data automatically, so that means the entry will be dynamically. But if you are involving or any network engineer going to enter some data statically or manually going to make an entry in the MAC address table, then in that case the entry will be static entry. For example, here also we can make some static entry on our device. MAC address table, then static command is there. After that you have to type the 48-bit MAC address like 0000.00. For example, only I am typing one MAC address. Okay, this is the MAC address. Then it's asking for which VLAN this is. This is VLAN number 1. Interface. Then you have to enter the interface like Ethernet. For example, I am telling 1 by 1. Okay, what command I run? This is the command. Okay, MAC address table static, then the MAC address, then for which VLAN this one, then VLAN number, interface, interface name and number. If I am entering this command, then after that if I am going to check show MAC address table, you can see one static entry is there. And static entry will be permanent. There will be no aging time for the static entry. So if the entry is dynamic, then after the aging timer complete, the entry will be flushed or removed from the MAC address table. But if the entry is static, in that case it will not remove. There will be no aging timer for this entry. So if you want, you can also make some MAC address, static MAC address entry. Okay. So now we are having two kind of entry. One is static MAC address table entry. Another one is dynamic MAC address table entry. I hope you also got to know like how the MAC address table switch is building the MAC address table and how the switch is also taking the forwarding decision on the base of the MAC address table. Now the thing is, our switch can receive some different kind of data. Okay, according to the type of communication, we are having unicast communication, we are having broadcast communication, we are having multicast communication. So I don't know, we are also not aware like what kind of data our device can send. This A device can send unicast data, also can also send multicast data, and also can send broadcast messages or broadcast of data. So how the switch will behave with this kind of messages? So if it's a unicast message, then how switch will behave right now? The first thing, if switch receive a unicast message, then if the MAC address table entry Okay, so what I wrote right now, for example, if this is a switch, this is A device, this is B device. A want to send a data to B. In MAC table, if switch is having an entry for A port number 1, B port number 2, if the destination is B right now, A want to send some data, so switch is having information about B, like B is connected to port number 2, so it will exit or it will send the data from the port number by looking at the MAC address table towards the device. But in case, the next case, so this is destination MAC, then switch will do unknown unicast flooding. Okay, so what will happen right now, if this is a switch, this is device A, this is device B, or another device is there C. A is trying to send some data to B, but in switch MAC address table there is no entry for device B or MAC address B. Then what will happen right now? Right now switch will do unknown unicast flooding. What is unknown unicast flooding? So it will send the same data to all the ports beside the port from where it received the data. So if someone is going to ask you what is unknown unicast flooding in switch, then what you will tell? So in case switch is receiving a unicast message, but switch is not having a entry for the destination MAC address in the MAC address table, then what switch will do? Switch will send the same data to all the ports beside the port from where the data has been received. This is known as unknown unicast flooding. This is also an important thing in switch. So many interview also you can get the question. They can ask you. So what is unknown unicast flooding? Again I am telling, if switch is receiving a unicast message and don't have information about the destination MAC address in the MAC address table entry, then switch will send the same message to all the ports beside the port from where the data has been received, or it will do a flood to all the ports. So this is known as unknown unicast flooding. Then the next thing, the third behavior of switch, how it will behave. The third one is for unicast. You got now unicast message means what? If a device is trying to send any data and he mentioned the destination MAC address. If the destination MAC address is there, then it's a unicast message. Okay. So right now, if switch received a broadcast message then it will send the message to all the ports beside the receiving port. So broadcast message means OLAP. So this is device A, again I am telling this is device B. So another device is there, device C. So A want to send a broadcast message to switch. So source IP will be 10.1, destination IP will be, broadcast IP means 255.255, all 255. In MAC address, the source MAC will be the MAC address of a device and destination MAC address will be OLAP. If it's a broadcast message, then the destination MAC address will be OLAP. That means it's a broadcast MAC address. Okay. So this message is going to send towards switch. Whenever switch is receiving this message, okay, after receiving this message, switch will check the source MAC address and will make an entry in the MAC address table, and after that it will check the destination MAC address to take the forwarding decision. Whenever it will find the destination MAC address is OLAP, that means it's a broadcast message, so it will send that same message, or it will plot the same message to all the ports beside the port from where it received the data, received the broadcast message. The same behavior it will do. Then the next fourth thing, when a switch receives a multicast message, till the time it's not aware about the specific multicast, it will plot the okay. So the same scenario is going to happen here. This device is trying to send a multicast message. Source is 10.1, destination is 224.1 or something. So source MAC address will be A, and if it's a multicast MAC address, all the multicast MAC address will be start from 01. It will start from 01. Okay. So the multicast MAC can be 01, A, B or something, for example. So this message is going to send towards the switch. Then what switch will do? The same thing, it will check the source MAC address first and will make an entry in the MAC address table. After that, it will check the destination MAC address to take the forwarding decision. So whenever it will find the MAC address is starting with 01, it can understand it's a multicast address, but it will check if the same multicast service is running on switch, then it will take the decision according to the multicast service. So that's a part of multicast. Till the time the multicast service is not enabled on the switch, it will also do the same thing. It will just replicate or plot the same message to all other ports. Okay, the same thing will happen. So only in one case, if it's a unicast message and switch have the idea or switch have information about the destination MAC address, then only it will send the message from the same port. But if it's don't have an idea, then it will plot to all the ports. That's known as unknown unicast plotting. If it's a broadcast message, also it will do the same thing. That also known as broadcast plotting. And in case of the multicast service is not running on switch and it receive a multicast message, then also it's going to do a plot to all the ports. That's known as multicast plotting. So same thing is there. Sometime might be interviewer can make you confused. So sometime what will happen? The interviewer can ask you one question: what is unicast plotting? So simply the guy, 98% guy who knows about unknown unicast plotting, what they will do? Simply they will answer with unknown unicast plotting. But the question was for unicast plotting. So totally wrong answer the guy is giving, because he is asking about unicast plotting, but the guy is giving answer for unknown unicast plotting. So if someone asking you about unicast plotting, then what will be the answer from you? The answer should be, unicast plotting means the switch is receiving a unicast message and switch is having information about the destination MAC address in his MAC address table. So that's why the switch will exit the data from the port where the destination MAC address device is connected. That kind of plotting, or plot the data or send the data. Plot means send also. Okay, so that this kind of scenario is known as, or this kind of plotting is known as unicast plotting. Unknown unicast flooding means what? Whenever the entries for the destination MAC address is not there in the MAC address table. Okay. So somehow also sometime you might have listened, switch is an intelligent device. Okay. So the thing is like that, if someone is telling like difference between hub and switch, the first the difference you will tell, hub is not an intelligent device, switch is an intelligent device. So let's discuss about 2-3 lines on hub and switch. So what happened? Hub and switch. This is hub, this is switch. All devices we are using for one purpose. That purpose is we want to connect multiple devices. Hub can also come with multiple ports. You can connect multiple devices. The same thing also you can get on switch. You can connect multiple devices to the multiple ports of a switch. So what is the difference right now? The next difference, the same hub can also work like a centralized device, switch can also work like a centralized device. So this is the technical word, centralized device. What is the centralized device? The device where multiple devices are getting connected. That's a centralized device. So this is the same. Next difference, hub is a layer 1 device and switch is a layer 2 device. As a layer 1 device, we are not having any protocol or anything to run on hub. Simply like we are having a cable, that cable is connected somewhere and the data is replicating to other ports. But in layer 2, we are having so many things, so many technology are there, so many protocol are there to control over our data communication. So what is happening in layer 1 communication right now? How hub will behave? If hub is receiving a data on any port, so it will not check anything. It don't have idea how, what to do, nothing. What it will do? Simply it will copy the data to all the ports. It will replicate the data to all the ports. What it's receiving from one port, it will replicate the data to all the ports. That means somehow from somewhere you might have listened, every time hub will do broadcast. So just because of this, we are telling hub is doing broadcast every time. Why? If it's receiving anything, it's telling to some all. Like in a classroom, if you are listening something, like someone is telling that guy found 50 rupees from the road. So you told everyone to the class by their standing, he got 50 rupees from road. So everyone know about that. Hub is doing like that only. But what switch will do? Why we are telling switch as an intelligent device? So switch is an intelligent device. Why? Just because it can take the forwarding decision according to the MAC address table technology, according to some other protocol also there. If you want to do so many things like some layer 2 technology, if you want to use multiple technology, switch can also handle those kind of things. So only I will discuss about the forwarding decision here. So what is the forwarding decision switch will take right now? Whenever switch is receiving any data for the first time, so you might have listened, switch will do broadcast for the first time. So why switch is doing broadcast for the first time? As I told you, for the first time, the switch is doing broadcast just because it want to make the MAC address table entry. Because it is not having information about the destination MAC address in his MAC address table entry. That's why it's doing broadcast. For example, if I am telling in your class one guy is there, that guy name is Hari. Okay, but you don't have idea about Hari. So you are the monitor of the class, means a centralized point. So someone told you, so tell this one to Hari. So what you will do? You don't know who is Hari. How can you tell? Simply you will stand in the class and you will tell who is Hari. That means you are doing a broadcast so that Hari can respond you. After you are getting the information about Hari, simply if it's a private thing to tell Hari, you can directly go to Hari and hand over the thing whatever you want to deliver. Here also switch is doing the same thing. What switch is doing right now? Once it's receiving any data from any port, so the destination is something else, it don't have idea about that, it's doing like broadcast. What is it doing? It is doing the same data it's sending from all the ports. But once it got learn about the information about the device, the destination device, it's just going to make an entry in the MAC address table, so that if next time the same data is coming for that same device, it will only exit from the same port. Only one single port it will exit, on which port the device is connected. That's why switch is a little bit intelligent than hub. So that's why also the concept is like first time, for the first time switch will do broadcast, but from the next time switch is not going to broadcast every time, it will send the data as a unicast. Okay, that's why, that's the reason. Okay, so after that also we are having so many technology, layer to technology to run on our switch. Hub can't support those things, so that's why also switch is a intelligent device and hub is not a intelligent device. Okay, now we will talk little bit about broadcast domain and collision domain on a switch. So what is broadcast domain? Broadcast domain, two words are here. First one is broadcast. You know, type of communication, I told you broadcast communication is there. Domain, domain means nothing, just you can understand like a area. So what is broadcast area right now? Broadcast domain or broadcast area right now? So it define a area where if one device is sending a broadcast message, then all other in the area will receive that. What it's telling right now? It is an area. In that area, if anyone sending any broadcast message, then all the devices in that area who are residing in that area, all will receive that message. For example, if in your classroom I am sending a broadcast message, that means what? In front of your classroom I am telling something loudly, so everyone in that classroom is listening to me. That classroom is basically a broadcast domain or broadcast area. In that area, so everyone who is available, they are going to listen what I am, what kind of broadcast message I am going to deliver. In our network also, in a broadcast domain or in a network, what will happen? If any device is sending any broadcast message, then all the devices in that area will listen to that. So in switch consider as a single broadcast domain, or all ports of the switch are part of single broadcast domain. Don't add, if you have idea about the VLAN and everything, don't add those idea with switch right now. So we are not going to take any kind of VLAN idea here. So simply I am telling all the port of a switch will be a part of single broadcast domain. Why it's part of single broadcast domain? As I told you, if switch is receiving a broadcast message from a single port, then it's going to send the same broadcast message to all the ports. That's why the same what condition I told you for a broadcast domain, it's satisfying here. What you are going to send, the same thing all people are listening. That means what this port number 1 is going to tell, or the device who is connected to port number 1 going to tell, all the devices who are connected to the other ports, all devices are going to listen to that. That's why one device will part of a single broadcast domain. One switch will part of a single broadcast domain. Disconnect and connect again. Okay. Then the next thing, collision domain. Spelling you should check. Okay. So what is collision domain right now? This is also collision and domain. Collision means collide, getting strike. Like for example, if I am telling in a train line, okay, in a single train line, if from the both direction two trains are coming, then what will happen? They will collide, they will get strike to each other, they will hit to each other. So here also collision means collide, domain means area. Okay, in an area, what will happen right now? If two things are there, then it may collide. Okay, this is also the same thing what I wrote here. It will also define an area. In that area, if any one device is sending a data, and in the same area if another device is sending the data at the same time, then the data will be collide. There will be a strike between the two data and data loss will happen right now. So in hub, if I am talking about hub, so what will happen right now? Hub is having multiple ports. One device is connected here, it's sending some data towards this device, and at the same time this device trying to send the data to this device, then the data collide will be happen here, collision will happen here. So that's why what will happen? The hub will call as a single collision domain, or you can consider like all the ports of a hub will be part of a single collision domain. But in case of switch, just because switch is an intelligent device, it can take decision, port wise decision. Means for example, by looking on the MAC address table, switch know if this port want to send data towards this device. Okay, A is trying to send data to this device, then switch know if this device trying to send data from this port is data receiving and he want to send the data from this port. Switch is having an idea just because of this MAC address table. Then at that moment, if this port or the device which is connected to this number port is trying to send data to another port, it is possible. So every port of the switch is part of a separate collision domain. Okay. So every single port of a switch is part of separate collision domain. So in this switch, the number of port will be the number of collision domain. So in this switch, this is one number port, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So total 13 collision domain are there for this switch. So if we are generally talking about the switch, then switches, the device will come with some ports. If you are talking about the port wise, then 8 port switch will be there, 16 port switch will be there, 24 port switch will be there, 48 port switch will be there. So according to our requirement only, we will select the model of the switch. Okay. So switch will be part of single broadcast domain, but all the port of the switch will be part of a single collision domain. Okay, so this is enough for today. So if you are having any doubt or question, you can ask. Next we will start from next session.